Today we're still going to talk about division, but this time we have larger numbers, and we're going to talk about how to estimate or get an answer about. So we're still going to use that same method of division, that area model, and pulling groups out. So when I start reading the problem here, I have Kendall, who picked 902 apples. So Kendall picked 902 apples at the orchard. He will pack them into crates. So I'm picturing I have this huge pile of all these apples. Okay, all these apples, and I have to pack them into a whole bunch of crates. So I have to keep putting them into crates to sell at the farmer's market. Each crate holds 22 apples. So that's kind of an action word because I have about. How many crates will Kendall fill? So they're not looking for an exact answer. So, but I know I'm dividing because I'm putting it into each crate. So let's look at how we're going to estimate. So I have 900. Oh, sorry. My camera's getting a little shaky there. So I have 902, and I have to split them up into groups of 22. I put 22 into each crate. So I'm going to do some estimating. First, I want to estimate the divisor. I want to estimate the divisor. 22. So 22 is pretty close to 20. So I'm going to make it go to 20. It's only 2 away from 20. So I know that when I have numbers and I want to divide them into things that end in 0, I want to make this number end in 0. So I'm estimating this one first because I need to know what to do with this one second. So second, I estimate this one. So I need something that ends in 0. What is close to 902 that ends in 0? 900. Okay, so I'm going to make my box. I'm going to put 900 inside of it. Okay? So 20 goes on the outside. Just like I did last time, just like we did yesterday, I'm going to do, let me see if I can move it over here. I'm going to do 20 times 10 and 20 times 100. So I understand where I'm going to start. 20 times 10 is 2 with 2 zeros. 2 times 1 is 2 with how many zeros? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's see. If I do it times 10, I got 200. Okay? 2,000, it's way too big. So I can't use 100. So I'm going to use some tens. Okay? So I'm going to take a group of 10 out. And that was 200. So 900 divided by 200 minus 200 is 700. Well, that's not getting me there very fast. I wonder if there's something else that I can do that would help me to get there a little faster. So is there something 2 times something that will give us something close to 7? 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So it would be 4. What about 2 times 3 is 6? That would get us a little closer. So I'm going to try with 3. So I'm still doing, I can't do hundreds. Remember, I can't do 2 zeros. I have to only do multiples of 10. So 2 times 3 is 6. How many zeros? 1, 2. So I'm dividing. Now I'm multiplying. So subtract, subtract, I'm left with 100. How many groups of 20 go into 100? Well, let's skip count. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So that was 5. 5 times 2 is 10, and there's my 10. So I know that 5 times 20 will give me 100. So I ended up with 0, so I'm finished. So I have to add my partial dividends here. When I divided, I got parts. 10 plus 30 is 40. 5 more is 45. So let's go back up to the problem. About how many crates will Kendall fill? So I'm going to write about 45 crates. About 45 crates. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Sorry, my camera's wiggling here. I keep hitting it when I'm writing with my pen. So Dexter has also picked apples at the orchard. He picks 5,253 apples, and he packed them into larger crates to deliver to grocery stores. Each crate holds 48 apples. So I still have the crates, and I'm saying each crate. So I'm kind of splitting them up. Still about how many crates will Dexter fill? All right, so I'm going to draw my box. Right, I'm going to put my 5,253 into it, and my 48 goes on the side. I'm doing the same thing I started last time. I'm going to do 48 times 10 and 48 times 100. So 48 times 10 is 480. 48 times 100 is 4,800. Okay, so can I use either one? Yes, 480 can definitely go in there. But 4,800, that's smaller than 5,000. I have totally forgotten a step. I apologize. I'm going to cross this off. So I have totally forgotten a step. I got distracted. It says about 5,253 divided by 48. I've totally forgotten my about step. Some of you were probably saying that while I did my video, so I was thinking that maybe I should restart this video, but I'm sure this happens to us too. We'll just go with it. So 48, I have to estimate this one first. So 48 is pretty close to what? 50. It's pretty close to 50. So I want something over here that's about that ends in 0. So I have some choices. I could say 5,250. I could just round it to 50. Or I could keep rounding this a little bit more. So I'm going to choose to round this one to the nearest hundreds. So I'm going to say 50 is enough to kind of bump this 2 up a little bit. So I'm going to make my problem 5,300. So this one is the second one to estimate. So estimate first. I have to estimate this number first. All right, let's start over again with our estimated 5,300. And I'm going to take groups of 50 out of it. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do 50 times 10. Then I'm going to do 50. My camera's an angle and I'm trying really hard to write it so you can see what I'm writing and my hand doesn't block it. I'm having a hard time today. Trying something different with my filming to see if it works better, and I'm not sure if it does. So 50 times 10, 5 times 1 is 5. And I have 1, 2 zeros. 5 times 1 is 5 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. Now I'm estimated. So 500 can definitely go in. 5,000 is way closer. We are almost there. So I'm going to take that group of 100 out. I keep shaking my camera. 1 times 5 is 5. 1, 2, 3 zeros. But I already have it written right here. So let's subtract 0, 0, 3. Let's make a new box. Now I have to figure how many times 5 can go into 300. I can count by 50s, so I'm going to make some tally marks as I count by 50s. So I have 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, and I ended up right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 times. Well, that makes sense because 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 5 is 30. So 6 times 5 is 30, but I already figured out down here that it was 300, right? With another 0, I'm left with 0. So I always have to add my 2 parts, right? 100 plus 6 is 106. Let's go back to the problem. About how many crates will Dexter fill? So I'm going to write about 106 crates. About 106 crates. So tomorrow in class we're going to do more estimating. We're going to do about, we're going to round our numbers and keep practicing this area model of division.